Thank you for joining with me. We are reading with the Course Companions, Chapter 31, The Final Vision. And this is Section 2, The Passing of an Ancient Learning. If you'd like to join me in prayer. Dear Father, if left to my own devices, my perception will be skewed. I surrender to you everything that I think and feel. God, please take my past, plan my future, send your Spirit to redeem my mind that I might be set free. May I be your channel, God, and serve the world. May I become who you would have me be, do what you would have me do, go where you would have me go, and say what you would have me say, and to whom, dear God. God, please enable me an open mind and a new experience in all things. And so it is. Amen. The passing of an ancient learning. Let us be still an instant and forget all things we ever learned, all thoughts we had, and every preconception that we hold of what things mean and what their purpose is. Let us remember not our own ideas of what the world is for. We do not know. Let every image held of anyone be loosened from our minds and swept away. Be innocent of judgment, unaware of any thoughts of evil or of good that ever crossed your mind of anyone. Now do you know him not, but you are free to learn of him and learn of him anew. Now is he born again to you, and you are born again to him, without the past that sentenced him to die, and you with him. Now is he free to live, as you are free, because of an ancient learning passed away and left a place for truth to be reborn. An ancient lesson is not overcome by the opposing of the new and old. It is not vanquished that the truth be known or fought against to lose to truth's appeal. There is no battle which must be prepared, no time to be expended, and no plan that need be laid for bringing in the new. There is an ancient battle being waged against the truth, but truth does not respond. Who could be hurt in such a war unless he hurts himself? He has no enemy in truth. And can he be assailed by dreams? Let us review again what seems to stand between you and the truth of what you are, for there are steps in its relinquishment. The first is a decision which you make, but afterwards the truth is given you. You would establish truth, and by your wish you set two choices to be made each time you think you must decide on anything. Neither is true, nor are they different. Yet must we see them both before we can look past them to the one alternative that is a different choice. But not in dreams you made, that this might be obscured to you. What you would choose between is not a choice, and gives but the illusion it is free, for it will have the one outcome either way. Thus it is really not a choice at all. The leader and the follower emerge as separate roles, each seeming to possess advantages you would not want to lose. And we're going to look at footnote 6. This is apparently an ego-based version of the roles of leader and follower, in which we see each role primarily in terms of a specific ego advantage that it confers. Perhaps we are attracted to the leader role because of the power it gives us, and are attracted to the follower role because of its freedom from responsibility. Elsewhere, however, the Course does speak of a holy version of these roles, in which we follow truth, and then our brothers follow us as we lead the way to truth. For example, and let us be the leaders of our many brothers who are seeking for the way, but find it not. And back to the text, I can't talk today. So, in their fusion, there appears to be the hope of satisfaction and of peace. You see yourself divided into both these roles, forever split between the two, and every friend or enemy becomes a means to help you save yourself from this. Perhaps you call it love, perhaps you think that it is murder justified at last. You hate the one you gave the leader's role when you would have it, and you hate as well his not assuming it. At times you want to let the follower in you arise and give away the role of leadership. And this is what you made your brother for, and learn to think that this his purpose is. Unless he serves it, he has not fulfilled the function that was given him by you. And thus he merits death, because he has no purpose and no usefulness to you. And what of him? What does he want of you? What could he want but what you want of him? Herein is life as easily as death, for what you choose as well for him. 2 calls you make to him, and he to you. Between these 2 is choice, because from them there is a different outcome. If he be the leader or the follower to you, it matters not, for you have chosen death. But if he calls for death or calls for life, for hate or for forgiveness, and for help, it is not the same in outcome. Here the one and you are separate from him and are lost. But hear the other, and you join with him, and in your answer is salvation found. The voice you hear in him is but your own. What does he ask of you? And listen well, for he is asking what will come to you, because you see an image of yourself and hear your voice requesting what you want. Before you answer, pause to think of this. The answer that I give my brother is what I am asking for, and what I learn of him is what I learn about myself. Then let us wait an instant and be still, forgetting everything we thought we heard, and remembering how much we do not know. This brother neither leads nor follows us, but walks beside us on the self-same road. He is like us, as near or far away from what we want as we will let him be. We make no gains he does not make with us, and we fall back if he does not advance. Take not his hand in anger, but in love, for in his progress do you count your own. And we go separately along the way, unless you keep him safely by your side. Footnote 7. We, in this sentence, seems to refer to Jesus and you, in which case the sentence would mean, and we, Jesus and you, go separately along the way unless you keep him, your brother, safely by your side. And back to the text. Because he is your equal in God's love, will you be saved from all appearances and answer to the Christ who calls to you? Be still and listen. Think not ancient thoughts. Forget the dismal lessons that you learned about this Son of God who calls to you. Christ calls to all with equal tenderness, seeing no leaders and no followers, and hearing but one answer from them all. Because he hears one voice, he cannot hear a different answer from the one he gave when God appointed him his only Son. Be very still an instant. Come without all thought of what you ever learned before, and put aside all images you made. The old will fall away before the new without your opposition or intent. There will be no attack upon the things you thought were precious and in need of care. There will be no assault upon your wish to hear a call that never has been made. Nothing will hurt you in this holy place to which you come to listen silently, to learn the truth of what you really want. No more than this will you be asked to learn. But as you hear it, you will understand you need but come away without the thoughts you did not want and that were never true. Forgive your brother all appearances, which are but ancient lessons that you taught yourself about the sinfulness in you. Hear but his call for mercy and release from all the fearful images he holds of what he is and of what you must be. He is afraid to walk with you and thinks perhaps a bit behind, a bit ahead would be a safer place for him to be. Can you make progress if you think the same, advancing only as he would step back and falling back as he would go ahead? For so do you forget the journey's goal, which is but to decide to walk with him. So neither leads nor follows. Thus, it is a way you go together, not alone. And in this choice is learning's outcome changed, for Christ has been reborn to both of you. An instant spent without your old ideas of who your great companion is and what he should be asking for will be enough to let this happen. And you will perceive his purpose is the same as yours. He asks for what you want and needs the same as you. It takes perhaps a different form in him, but it is not a form you answer to. He asks and you receive, for you have come with him, with but one purpose, that you both may learn you love each other with a brother's love. And as a brother must his father be the same as yours, as he is like yourself. Together is your joint inheritance remembered and accepted by you both. Alone it is denied to both of you. Is it not clear that while you still insist on leading or on following, you think you walk alone, with no one by your side? This is the road to nowhere, for the light cannot be given while you walk alone, and so you cannot see which way you go. And so there is confusion and a sense of endless doubting as you stagger back and forth in the darkness and alone. Yet are these but appearances of what the journey is and how it must be made. For next to you is one who holds the light before you, so that every step is made in certainty and sureness of the road. A blindfold can indeed obscure your sight, but cannot make the way itself grow dark. And he who travels with you has the light. And this is footnote 8. Based on the context, he who travels with you, along with the earlier one who holds the light before you, would have to be your brother, since he is the only one who is described as traveling with you in this section. However, we should probably add to this that Christ, your true self, is walking with you in the person of your brother. We say this because in the notes the relevant phrases were capitalized. He who travels with you, one who holds the light before you. And Helen's capitalization, while inconsistent, is usually reflected of the intended meaning. And also because earlier in this section and in the preceding one, Christ is calling to you through your brother's call. See the implied identity between the Christ who calls to you in paragraph 7 and this Son of God who calls to you in paragraph 8. See also chapter 31, section 1. This would mean that through your brother walking with you, Christ is also walking with you. And now please join me on the commentary by Robert Perry. Day 356 with the Course Companions group, The Passing of an Ancient Learning. Yesterday's section spoke of ancient lessons we taught ourselves about the Son of God, ourselves, and others. Today's section continues that discussion, addressing a particular form those ancient lessons take, and also how we can let them go. The particular form being addressed is the leader-follower dynamic. There are times when we want to be the leader, the one in control, so we assign our brother the role of follower. After all, you can't be a leader without followers. Then there are other times when we just don't want the responsibility. We want to take it easy and merely follow. So we push our brothers forward into the leader role. If we are honest, we can see this dynamic all over our lives. We are always saying either, I want control, or I want someone else to take control. Our preference on this level can jump around erratically, and every time they do, our brother is supposed to jump with them. Surprise, you are the leader now. What then happens when our latest whim says jump and our brother does not say how high? I think we know what happens. You hate the one you gave the leader's role when you would have it, and you hate as well his not assuming it at times. You want to let the follower in you arise and give away the role of leadership. Our brother has not fulfilled the function that was given him by you. In 4:7, a reference to dream rules back in chapter 29. We therefore have no use for him now. He just deserves to die. Perhaps you can see how this connects with yesterday's section. There, the essence of the ancient lessons we had taught ourselves was that God's Son is guilty. In today's section, that is exactly where our leader-follower dance ends up. Our brother is guilty for not doing the dance right, and we ourselves are guilty for cracking the whip he has to dance to. The leader-follower dynamic, therefore, produces just more discharge that ends up flowing into the same polluted lake. It ends up strengthening the same ancient lesson we taught ourselves about the sinfulness in our brother and ourselves. We need to open our mind about our brother, not in a casual, superficial way, but deeply. That is the point of that moving first paragraph. Jesus wants us to genuinely let our old images of our brothers, which are stuck to the walls of our minds like baked-on food, be loosened from our minds and swept away. For this purpose, I recommend reading slowly through that first paragraph and changing all the language to the first person. Let me be still an instant. Go through that paragraph slowly in that way and try to carry out its injunctions inside yourself. And I'm just going to read that for us in that way. Let me be still an instant and forget all things that I've ever learned, all thoughts that I had, and every preconception that I hold of what things mean and what their purpose is. Let me remember not my own ideas of what the world is for. I do not know. Let every image held of anyone be loosened from my mind and swept away. Be innocent of judgment, unaware of any thoughts of evil or of good that ever cross my mind of anyone. Now I do not know him, but I am free to learn of him and learn of him anew. Now is he born again to me, and I am born again to him, without the past that sentenced him to die and me with him. Now is he free to live as I am free, because an ancient learning passed away and left a place for truth to be reborn. Open mind, new experience with all things. The key thing we need to open our minds about is what our brother is really asking for. We hear him asking to be the leader one moment and the follower the next. But that is just the surface. Beneath that, we tend to hear him asking for it, asking for punishment and for death. Yet we haven't been listening deeply enough. If we listened with a truly open mind, cleared of ancient lessons, we would hear him asking in soft appeal to be your friend. We would hear him asking for mercy and release, for forgiveness and for help. In short, we would hear him asking for life. Can we consider that this is what our brother has really been asking for, to be our friend, to receive our forgiveness, and to have our help? Which means he has been asking for exactly the same thing that we have been asking. At the heart of all relationship difficulties is a state of conflicting wills, conflicting desires. Thus, if it turns out that the two of us desire the same thing, then there is no conflict. There is only unity. That is why we need to take this brother's hand and walk along the road with him. When we think that it's safer to walk a little ahead of him as the leader or a little behind as the follower, we forget the journey's goal, which is but to decide to walk with him, so neither leads nor follows. It's true that there is a place for holy leadership and holy following. See, for instance, Workbook 2, I don't know what that is, FL 2:6. But if the leading and the following are truly holy, then those contrasting roles mask a deeper reality, that we have taken each other's hands and are walking along the road together. Walking together may seem like a matter of form that pales in comparison to inner realizations, yet it is at the very center of why we are on earth. For you have come but with one purpose, that you both may learn you love each other with a brother's love, and as a brother must his father be the same as yours. So as a brother must his father be the same as yours. Walking together is our means for getting home, for it contains within it the love and the unity that is our home. And that is the conclusion of day 356, chapter 31, the final vision, section 2, the passing of an ancient learning. Thank you so much for joining with me. I love you. Have a beautiful day.